was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late.
So I wanted welding done to my boat. There was just a ton of holes in the boat, old rod holders in the gunnels. There was a patch panel and a radio in one of the seats and some big bolt holes all just generally around the boat. And I wanted it all cleaned up. And I was lucky enough to have a good mate, Paul Furloin, who is a welder by trade. So a couple of weeks earlier to this, Paul had gone out and brought all the welding gear he needed to basically set up a home business for welding boats or anything at all. TIG, MIG welding, all sorts of bits and pieces, stainless steel, the whole business. And so I dropped it off to him and gave him the task of welding up everything I needed. As you can see, the job came out absolutely perfectly, exactly what I wanted, and it's ready for prime and paint. And now you're never going to know there's even any holes there. Now, as you can see, I'm using the old floors as templates. Very easy way to make a perfect copy of the old floors. I do this for the floors, the hatches and all the casting deck, as you'll see in this one.
I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.
Here I fit the floor to the boat just to make sure I've got all the reliefs in the right place for the ribs, and also there's a 5mm gap in areas where the carpet needs to go. As you can see here, there's a perfect 5mm gap between the front and rear casting decks.
You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black.
Even though I'm using marine plywood, it still makes good sense to seal the plywood before applying the carpet. I use Bondall, satin monosil, gold marine clear timber varnish. This came in a 1 litre can, and it's all I really needed. I used a couple of those and it covered everything. With the monosil marine varnish, you need to water it down for the first coat so it actually penetrates into the timber. To do this, you just add a quarter weight of terps to the varnish, and once you've done the first coat, allow it to sit for a minimum of 6 hours. After it's sit and dried, then you give it a light sand, and this time you give it a second coat, and you don't need to water it down this time. After that's been allowed 6 hours to dry, then you just repeat the process a last time for a light sanding, a third coat, and one big thing, don't forget to do the edges of the plywood as well. This is one very important part of the process. When laying the boards out on the carpet and marking where to cut, you must leave an overlap of carpet so it can be wrapped around the board. As you can see in the video here, I use a plaster hand sander, which is perfect because it's got a foam bottom which allows it to float smoothly and effortlessly over the carpet, and a hard edge to push against the board, and a built-in hand grip. You can get these from Bunnings and they're just under $7.
Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back.
In the description you can find all the products that I've used. Some of the main ones I'll bring up on the screen and explain, but go there and I'll have a list of where you can get these products from.
You look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Here you can see I'm using chalk to mark on the carpet where the boards fit in the middle just perfectly. You can get this chalk from Spotlight. It's very cheap, $3.95. Up in the corner here, here's what it looks like. The reason for marking around the board into the carpet is so when it comes time to put the floorboard down, fully loaded with glue, I can get the overhang of the carpet, the same on each side, which will make it easier to wrap later on. Here you see I'm using a rolling pin. That's just to make sure the carpet's fully laid down flat. There's no air bubbles or creases going to appear in the carpet later on. In the top right corner here you'll see the glue I've used. It's actually for artificial turf. It takes any kind of weather, it never moves, it is absolutely brilliant, and you get it from Bunnings. After the glue's been applied to the boards and stuck to the carpet, then I usually lie it on a flat surface with a heavy weight on. Like in here I was using bricks and weights. I let the boards cure for a day, so when the glue had completely gone off, the next day I could actually wrap the rest of the board, and this would give me something to pull against and the carpet wouldn't move. One important thing to note is when you lay the boards down, that some glue will squeeze out. You must clean this glue up, otherwise when you wrap the carpet it will actually be a bit of a barrier to wrapping it as tight as you want. I'm using a 4mm square notch plastic adhesive spreader. The distinctive notches they spread the leaves and they glue gives it an even base or an even ridge, so the glue when compressed by the carpet it actually provides a complete bond between the plywood and carpet.
To my place, I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
When complete, this is what it should look like. You'll see the excess carpet around the board. This is used for wrapping onto the board and securing on the other side, so it keeps it nice and tight. Alright, as promised, here's the easiest way to do a outside corner on any carpeting job. So first off, cut 2 lines, one either side of the corner like it's shown here, and there'll be 3 bits of carpet. Cut off the 2 biggest bits on the side, and that will leave you with 1 slither of carpet in the middle. That carpet will fold over and hide any gaps, but it will also do, it will actually blend into the carpet around once you glue it in, and you will not see any joins in the carpet. To make the job 1,000 times easier, get yourself one of these knives from Bunnings, proper carpet knife, proper cutting edge, and they just make the job so much easier. As you can see here, I've got a metal sheet underneath this carpet. It's because this hatch goes into a wet area, so I made it a little bit more waterproof than normal. So I can't use staples in this one. I've used staples in everything else, but not in this one. So what I've done is, all I do is glue it, and as you can see later on, I just use some spare scrap wood and a clamp, and clamp it down until it's fully glued.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. Damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. the same tracks. Listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast. Don't remember life before you, that's fact.
So just again, you can see here, all you do is gather the carpet up into the triangle. You cut a slither of carpet each side of the outermost edge of the carpet and cut off the leftovers, so you're left with one slither of carpet. Glue that in, put lots of glue around the area, then fold it down, use scrap piece of wood and a clamp to secure it. One important part to do, as you'll see here, is that when you pull that little slither of carpet to finish off, it'll actually bulge out a couple of the sides because the carpet won't just conform 100% to the corner. So what you need to do, as you can see here, is just push the carpet in on the sides, and then the little slither of carpet will actually trap in those sides of carpet and will make that actual corner very, very strong and won't fade or tear.
First date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my.
And once you're glued and stapled and basically stretch all the carpet over the plywood, this is how the end result should look. So that's it for doing the carpets. Now they've all been dry fitted to the boat and they fit perfectly, so it's on to the next step. So in the next video, part 3, what we'll be having is using the special W hinges I brought, which took me ages to source, but they are actually a hidden hinge, and all you see is a small part of the hinge in the boat. And the reason I like those is because if you stand on them when it's burning hot sun like we do have in WA, don't burn your feet on them because there's not much metal exposed. So I'll show you how to fit those and how to do those, do them a special way. And also redoing your cowl on the outboard. Mine was scratched, deep gouges, paint was all terrible, so totally redid it. It's super simple, it's not as hard as you think, and basically the finish is a rattle can finish and it comes up looking mint.